Muy buenas noches, gracias, maestro, por la oportunidad. Bueno, yo quisiera preguntarle sobre sus inicios, que se llama With the Wells y Backwards. ¿Cómo fue esos inicios impecables?
Y le agregaré algo. Okay, welcome to the channel, Michael. Jhon is asking you about your beginnings, doing without walls and backwards in time, but I know that your beginnings go back with the years playing the guitar, with Stevie Wonder. So tell us more about your beginnings, your first album.
Oh, my beginnings goes back to when I was 9 years old, and I was a prodigy of the great Pat Martino. Was my teacher. He was like my Segovia, and he trained me. And then when I got to be 17 years old, right, Stevie Wonder discovered me in Philadelphia. And I joined his band when I was 17. I was still in high school. So then I went on the road with Stevie. And of course, I made all the records with him, like Songs in the Key of Life, Inner Visions. And I was on the road with him for like 10 years. And then finally, Stevie said, it's time for you to go out on your own. Right? So he got me my first record deal, right? And I started writing songs. I became a songwriter for Warner Brothers, right? And what happened was, all of a sudden, I have a #1 record called Maniac. It wasn't, everybody thinks it's like, oh, how did you do that? I said, look, I was a songwriter and it happened to get in the right movie, and next thing I know, I got a #1 record and I'm an artist out of nowhere, and that the very beginnings, though, I studied with these great masters like Pat Martino, Dennis Sandoli, all these Italian, they taught me the guitar, right? But I started out playing by ear, not reading music, So when I got with Stevie Wonder, he's blind, right? So I'm going like, well, how did I get, what am I doing here? I just was a guitar player. Next thing I know, I'm writing for Diana Ross. I'm writing for Michael Jackson. I don't know if you've heard my Thriller. I have a song on Thriller with Michael Jackson called Carousel. I've written songs for George Benson, all these different people, right? So my main goal was I have an ability with languages. Like, for example, I don't know, you probably remember I wrote a song for an artist from Puerto Rico named Wilkins. Margarita, yo te sueño cada día. Dime cómo yo sabría si esperando estás por mí. Margarita, right? That became a #1 record, right? For Wilkins. So next thing I know, I got a #1 record in America, a #1 record in Latin America, and I'm producing like Miguel Mateos, working with Perez Prado, Tito Puente, and then I do the soundtrack for the movie Salsa, right? And that's where Margarita became a big hit. I don't know if it was big over where you're at, but it was worldwide. Margarita went worldwide. So when I went to the Grammys in 1983, Michael Jackson, I hadn't seen him in a long time since we did Thriller. And he goes, Michael, how you doing? I said, Michael, what am I doing here? He goes, you're the king of pop. He goes, no, you're the king of languages, man. Because I'd walk around singing in other languages. He said, you got a gift. I want you to be the man that sings in every language. And so that's coming from Michael. So Michael helped me get my publishing deal. So I've sung in Portuguese, I've sung in Hindu, I've sung in Arabic, and I'm getting ready to do a Spanish version of Maniac, and Italian, and Indonesian, and we'll send you some links so you can see. I don't know if Cameron, my manager, sent you anything, but I'll send you me. It shows me singing in all these different languages. So that's what I've been up to. And now at 71 years old, I feel like a young kid again. Everybody goes, "Oh, you're getting too old." I said, "I'm getting younger." I'm sorry, because my thing is my music is helping people to feel happy, to be abundant, to be wonderful. And so I'm having a whole second coming, as you might say. And anyway, and another note, Frank Stallone, Sylvester Stallone's brother, and I are going to do some concerts together. And so I'm going to get back out there this year. I'm going to be playing in Italy at the Suzuki Theater in September. So after the pandemic, which stopped everything here, we couldn't go anywhere, and then Stevie Wonder got a kidney operation, so everybody had to stop for a while. But basically, I was very lucky and fortunate to have all my teachers that I had, and it's just a wonderful experience,
Hearing you talk is a treasure for us.
It's okay.
So,
and I'll slow down here. I understand like a little bit of Spanish, so as I hear you talking, it's good. But my goal is to be the man that sang in every language. That's my new thing. Because Michael Jackson says, "Mike, you walk around, going, Margarita, yo te sueños cada día." And then he says, "You got to do something with that." And I said, "Okay." So that's what I've been doing. I'm going to be doing Arabic next. I've already done Hindu. I've done Portuguese. I work with Daniel Jobim, Antonio Carlos Jobim's grandson. We did a thing, if you look it up, it's called The Bridge. And then just put Michael Sembello, The Bridge, and you can see me playing and singing in different languages with all these different people. So that's my mission from God, is to be able to say, hey, because when I went to Indonesia to sing, imagine me in the jungle in Indonesia singing, Bacinta, and everybody's going, who's this guy? Doesn't make sense, So my thing is to bring people together, one planet, one people.
Quisiéramos saber sobre sus próximos proyectos, esos que tienes en mente. Me gustaría poder conocer cada detalle. Y bueno, que eso es bastante valioso.
And Jhon is saying, yeah, because you tell us back in the call, and now that you are like a reborn, there are new projects, so the camera is yours, and tell us what's next from Michael Sembello.
I'm doing a whole new record, like I said, and I'm doing some of my old stuff, some of my new stuff, but I'm doing them. It's a big project, singing in many languages. So I'm having things translated in different languages. So that's my project. It's called One Planet, One People, just to bring people together, And I'm also doing something out here in California in the desert where I'm helping senior citizens and children get together and teaching them instruments. I'm having them teach each other. So I have a school, and it's called seniorkids.com. I'll send you all the information. And what it is like, and you go to an old folks home, and all these old people are sitting around, and they're not doing anything. So I get these kids to come in and play guitar and ukulele, and they're teaching the old people. So it's a beautiful thing. It's just my way of giving back as a teacher, because at this point in my life, I've had a great career, a great life, but I want to see people play music. For example, everybody has music inside of them. I don't know do you play an instrument? I'm not sure. Or do you play?
I play the trumpet.
You play trumpet?
I play it back in the school. In Colombia, there are no like big bands, but there are called something marching bands that the bands play. Yeah. I played the trumpet back in those days, man. I need to go back to that instrument. I love it.
You got to do it. You know why? Because they say for anybody, it's very spiritual. It's like meditation. Like when I got really pissed off with music, I called Daniel Jobim in Brazil. I said, I want to come to Brazil. Fazendeiro, Caballero, Monge. I want to become a monk I don't want to do music, right? So he takes me to the rainforest, and the place is called San Jose do Valle do Rio do Preto. It's Saint Jose of the Black River. And he says, you're going to sit here and you're going to like music again. And I said, no, I don't want to do music. I shaved my head, right? And I said, I want to be a monk, but I want to be a monk in Brazil, right? So, and he says, no, you can't. So I didn't play for years. And then finally, he says, here's my grandfather's guitar, right? And he grabs this guitar and he goes, he wrote The Girl from Ipanema on this. Now, I don't know if you know who Antonius Carlos Jobim is. That's his grandfather. And he goes, I want you to pick that guitar up. And I stared at that guitar for like a month. And when I picked it up, it was like enlightenment. You know, I've forgotten, and that's what I'm saying to you as a trumpet player. Don't, even if it's 5 minutes a day, pick that trumpet up and just start playing, you know, and you'll feel so much better. All your problems will melt away. You won't hear your wife yelling at you or your kids yelling. Just go into a room and play that trumpet. I guarantee you'll have a good day. So that's my thing, is promoting music with regular people, because everybody thinks, oh, you're a rock star. You're a rock star. What does that even mean? You know, I did music not because I wanted, you know, all my friends go, well, I did music because I want to meet chicks. I want to meet women. But that's the wrong reason. You want to do music because you want to give your energy, spiritual energy. So I'm all about, you know, the spiritual energy of music. So these projects I'm doing, is I'm taking a lot of the local talent here, and now that we have Zoom, we have all this. I can call Puerto Rico, Argentina, Venezuela, and get everybody together and say, "Hey, this is Michael Sembello. Play. Let's go. Let's all play together." So that's what I'm doing. I'm going to do a big Zoom thing, a big subscription, so I'll be able to get people to play with me and other people. You know, so like Frank Stallone. Sylvester Stallone's brother is a great guitar player. So we're going to start teaching people online.
I will obey the things that the professor, the teacher, Michael said. I will bring back the box and play the trumpet.
You must.
I will do it. I promise.
You won't, you know, and go check your blood pressure, right? Right before you play, right? And play, and your blood pressure goes down. Because when you play music, it relaxes you. See, so it's music is therapeutic. So I'm into a lot of musical therapy right now. There's a thing called binaural beats, and it's these frequencies. You put these headphones on, and it oscillates your brain, right? Because it makes you think smarter, and it's a big therapy for music now. We didn't know. I mean, ancient people, we knew this thousands of years ago, but now they're discovering if you play these frequencies in your head, it gets rid of anxiety. It cures people. It's even curing cancer in some people. So music, like, who was the guy? Nicholas Tesla said, if you want to know the secrets of the universe and God, he goes, it's vibration and frequency. And music. That's how you do it.
Wow. Bueno, si Andrés tiene una pregunta, tú complementas. Está este tema que siempre hay un álbum que la verdad es diferente a todos los demás, que se llama Caravan of Dream, un toque asiático y un toque de espiritualidad. ¿Cómo fue ese cambio de ese evolución que has tenido, que fue bastante súper bueno, ¿no?
And Jhon is asking about a great album that is called Caravan of Dreams. Very therapeutic. Yeah, tell me more. How do you feel about this album that is really different?
Oh, that record was very,
yes.
Yeah. I've actually sung some of the songs in different languages on that. That's like kind of like my, it's a caravan. It's a caravan of different songs, and Caravan of Dreams was like, see, I'm not the normal kind of artist. You know what I'm saying? I do things differently. Like Stevie Wonder taught me. He goes, you have to do your music from your heart. So that record was very special to me because that's one of the records I translated into different languages. But there's an artist called Ishtar, I think her name is, or a group called Ishtar, and she did her version of Caravan of Dreams. And so, like I said, a lot of my songs went to a lot of different people, and they re-recorded them in different languages. Any specific song did you sing? Any specific?
Yo quisiera preguntarle acerca sobre el tema de la nominación y pues el tema del Grammy por la canción que ya sabemos, pero hay una curiosidad importante que sí quiero decirlo, que muy pocos le han preguntado a él, es que en este tema del videoclip musical de la canción de Maniac, Marine Jhon, que es la bailarina que hace de doble de Jennifer Beals, y ella fue la que también complementó con el tema de la canción. Así que quería dar ese dato porque no se lo han dicho, Nico.
Yes, about Maniac, not only about the Grammy and Oscar nomination, but there is it true that the dancer that played the body double of Jennifer Beals was the one that chose Maniac? Is it real, that history? What anecdote we got to know about Maniac being chosen by that? By the way, one of my favorite movies and my mom's movies, that is Flashdance, man.
Oh, no. Well, Phil Ramone produced the music for the movie. And here's some interesting facts that nobody knows. Jennifer Beals is not a dancer. She didn't dance at all. She had a body double. Now when you watch the movie again, I'll show you. This is like the secret stuff that nobody knows. Jennifer Beals is just an actress, right? And when you do a movie, you never meet anybody. You just do it. So I was in Italy doing a show, right? I had never met her. And this is only 10 years ago, right? And the Italian interviewer said, "We have a surprise for you." And here comes Jennifer Beals walks out. And now it's 30 years later, right? And she's 6'2". I'm only 5 foot or 10, right? And she goes, "It's really nice to meet you." And she's the girl that, was doing, but the girl that really danced all the stuff, she was a French girl. And there's two different girls, one from France and one from Italy. And then there was a guy, a body double. If you see the end of the movie where, "What a feeling," and he's flipping around and he's jumping and jumping and jumping, it's a guy with a wig on. Flipping. So it's not even her. There's nobody. She didn't dance any of the stuff. She was just the actress. So a lot of people don't know that. So I'm going, holy shit, this is crazy. So that's a funny thing. Because when I met her, she says, "Man, I've been hearing about you." I said, when you do a movie, you don't meet everybody. They send me the thing. Phil Ramone said, on Maniac, it was an accident. He said, "I need some music for this movie." So I sent him a bunch of songs. And then at the end of one of the tapes I sent him was a song I was writing as a joke called Maniac, right? It was a joke. It was, "He's a man," but it was called "He's a Maniac." It was a joke song. And Phil says, "I don't like anything on the tape except that thing at the end about the Maniac guy." I go, "What?" I said, "That's just me playing around with my buddy, Dennis McCuskey, who I wrote the song with." It was he says, "I like this song, but you got to make it about a girl who's a maniac, that's a dancer." Right? So I had to change the whole thing. But the only reason why he liked it, because remember her butt was going do 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 do, and her ass was going up and down, right? And he says, "That's perfect." I go, "That's not even a song." He goes, "Make it a song." So it wasn't like I wrote it. I saw the movie. He made that fit the movie. Phil Ramone it's genius. And if it wasn't for Phil Ramone, that song would have never been in the movie. That's the truth.
It's crazy because I knew, but not everything. I know that the guy from that the for the twist is a Cuban. It's Cuban. It's called Crazy Led. I knew that one of the dancers is French, but I didn't know about the Italian, and I didn't know that you met Jennifer. So wow, now we know the whole history, man.
Right, 30 years later. Right.
Wow.
And I'm going like, it just shows you. People would say, Michael, you're such a genius. How did you come up with that song? I was writing that song after watching a movie called Maniac, a real movie. And it's about this guy killing people. And me and my partner, when we write songs, we research them, We go there. And my friend says to me, hey, I got this idea for a song, Maniac, right? And it's just make it a joke. It was a joke song. So we wrote it. And then if it wasn't at the end of the tape, it was just all Phil Ramone heard was like, he's a maniac. Now here's the real lyrics. He's a maniac, that's for sure. He'll kill your cat and nail it to the door. That's the real lyric. So Phil Ramone goes, I love the groove, I love the beat, but change it into, she's a maniac, make it into a girl who has passion, So that's why that happened. People to this day, I don't believe it. People think that when you write a song for a movie and you think about it. No, that was a complete accident.
And I don't know, did you know that in every playlist of YouTube about the 80s is always the first song that comes out in Simpod? It's amazing.
I know, it's incredible.
Wow.
Totally.
Thank you, Jhon.
But now you got the real story now. That's the real story. And
I'm telling that, Jhon, that you bring a real history, and I will promise to translate to my friend. Jhon nos dijo una historia inédita.
Wow, increíble.
Let me tell you another fact that nobody knows. When the movie came out in America, it bombed. In other words, everybody hated it. They didn't like it. And if it wasn't for Phil Ramone going back in, remixing all the music, and then I wrote some other songs on there too. The music was so low in the beginning, you couldn't really get into it. But Phil Ramone pushed all the music up, and it was breaking the speakers in theaters. He made it so loud. It was the first musical that really got heard, and that's what made it such a big movie. Because when you think about what it was about, the movie was about a young girl who wants to be a ballerina, wants to be a classical dancer, right? But she's a welder. She works in a welding thing in Pennsylvania. And when I read the script, right, when Warner Brothers says, write a song for this movie, I said, you got to be kidding me. Female welder becomes a dancer. I said, nobody's going to buy this. So that's why it's such a unique movie. Then when the movie, I don't know if you know, I wrote the music to Salsa, the movie Salsa.
Yeah, salsa.
Yeah, that's where Margarita came out. And same kind of thing. It was like the West Side Story, It was like the Puerto Rican girl with the white boy, the white guy. So I wrote all the music for that too. So check that out.
And before I do the question from Jhon, another thing about Dresden, it's crazy because with all the kinds of music that got the movie is, and this is not my words, there are words from the people that the historian. It was the first movie that showed hip hop to a bigger audience, the break dancers, and it's crazy because there is a few songs of hip hop. And second, of course, we love salsa. In fact, you know that in Colombia we got our own salsa, Grupo Nietzsche, Guayacán.
Yes.
What is your favorite? Jhon is asking you about The Devil's Child, the Diana Ross, the movie Devil's Child, the Diana Ross Mirror Mirror, but I want to ask you, what is your favorite Colombian artist?
I know I've worked with, Miguel Mateos. Who Miguel Mateos was from? I think. Wait, he was from Argentina or Venezuela. I'm not sure. He was like a dance artist, right? I love African music. I love everything. Like there's so many good. My favorite artists are Latin artists, but I don't know if you know who Wilkins is. Wilkins was the one who sang Margarita, and
Yes.
yeah, Wilkins was the one. But when we did the movie Salsa. You're going to love this. Kenny Ortega was the choreographer for the movie, right? Okay, so I'm the music director, right? I'm writing the songs, and you have the Puerto Ricans, you have Argentinian, you have like Guatemala, yeah, all the different Spanish people, and everybody claims the salsa for themselves, right? All the Puerto Ricans says we created the salsa. And then the Mexicans, no, we created the salsa. And then they stand up and they start, we do it this way. We do it. And it was a big argument, right? And you know what? It's funny. And Kenny Ortega is going crazy. I can't get all these guys together, right? So, when I say, hold on a second. You know who created it? Africa. It's called Afro-Cuban rhythms. Right? I said, you all did it, but we do the step this way. But the Puerto Ricans, nothing. No, we created the salsa. So everybody was claiming the salsa when I did the movie. And it was the funniest thing because there's a song, look up the song I wrote called Puerto Rico, right? And the chorus is Puerto Rico, Puerto Rico. Well, they give me a black gospel choir to sing it. And here's how they sang it. Puerto Rico, da 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 da, Puerto Rico. I said, no. Puerto Rico. They couldn't do it. So I had to hire a whole other choir to do it. So that's the inside scoop on that. Yeah, I mean, people don't realize this is the shit that goes on behind the scenes. The poor Kenny Ortega is going like, these guys are getting in fist fights. We own the salsa. No, we own salsa. I'm Puerto Rican. No salsa. It was this big fight for the whole movie. But it turned out to be a good movie. It's like a remake of, what's that movie, West Side Story. It's, the bad neighborhood. You got the Puerto Ricans, and then you got the white guys. And so that's what that movie's about. It's kind of like a Latin version of Flashdance.
Bueno, por último, ¿cómo define su trabajo en una palabra? Y Andrés, complemente, llegamos al estadio.
This is the final question. Yes, Jhon asked you about The Devil's Child and Mirror Mirror. I cannot believe that your favorite artist is Miguel Mateos because he's like the rock and roll god from Latin America. He's from Argentina. But the final question that Jhon always do to the people is try to define your career in one word.
And define my career, and that's a hell of a question. But let me think about that. I got to take my hat off here. One thing is one planet, one people. Not one word is music. Oh, you got me good on this one. Music is for everyone. Like I was telling you, play that trumpet every day. You don't need to be a rock star. If everybody would pick up an instrument, this is what I would like to leave before I leave this planet. Pick up a guitar, pick up something, get your family together and play. It doesn't have to be good, but music, like Tesla said, he said, music is vibration. It's vibration. When you're happy, when you're playing music, you're in another time and space. Do you ever notice that? When you're listening to music, time just goes by slow. And that's my thing is I want people to just play. My thing is play music, play an instrument. I don't care if it's a ukulele, right? I'm teaching these kids these ukuleles and things, and especially your children. Don't send them to a school. Find a really good mentor, like a maestro, to teach them. My thing is that's what you got to do. And I want you and both of you guys, just even if you just do play some percussion every day for 5 minutes, and your whole day will go better because you're synchronizing your brain. And look up binaural beats and frequencies, because we are, as human beings, we're not human beings. We are spiritual beings having a human experience, not human beings having a spiritual. We're spiritual beings, but we're in this body. But music connects us all. I love that question, though. What's one word? One word is play. Everybody should play. Everybody should play an instrument. Oh, say, while you're here, say hello to Cameron. This is my manager, Cameron.
Hey,
Cameron.
How you doing?
Okay, we did that. Now, let me tell you, who he is? His great-grandfather was Lon Chaney, Frankenstein. Lon Chaney.
Wow.
What the fuck?
Yeah, his great-great-grandfather is like,
Wow.
Chaney. He made all those monsters.
The legend Lon Chaney. Wow.
Legend.
Wait,
Yeah, the late Lon
yeah,
Chaney.
a legendary grandson also.
You remember all his movies, Frankenstein and
Of course, Lon Chaney.
Of course.
Do you know, Cameron, you know what is my favorite Lon Chaney movie? You correct me if I'm wrong, but he made the Phantom of the Opera. He's the one that...
Yeah.
That was senior. There's senior and junior.
Yes, that's senior.
That was the dad and so senior and junior.
They carried it on.
Yeah.
Yeah. See.
Cool.
Yeah.
Wow. And I'm born on Halloween.
He's born on Halloween. Look, he's like.
Wow. Amazing. Jhon,
The final, let's take a picture.
Okay, fine.
Hey, man, we're going to take a picture so we can show the social media. So,
Yeah, sure.
Go ahead.
Okay. One moment. 1, 2, and... Yes, save a moment, please. Michael, ha sido un enorme placer, una enorme oportunidad y no. Gracias por tanto. Y si quieres despedirte con alguna canción, excelente.
Jhon,
Michael.
you guys, this is my favorite interview of
Wow.
You guys. Let's do this again. Can we do this again? And I'll bring Frank Stallone, Sylvester Stallone's brother.
You're about done. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
He has a new guitar here. Let's see. Frank Stallone
dice que es la mejor entrevista que ha tenido y que la próxima quiere estar con Frank Stallone.
Frank Stallone.
Por favor.
Yeah. So,
Que así sea.
let me give a plug. Frank Stallone's guitar. Okay. All right. Buy this guitar because it's a great guitar. But also, here's what I'm doing for the elderly. Right. I'm teaching old people how to play ukulele. Get your kids a ukulele and get them to learn some kind of musical instrument, right? Okay, because you already... Jhon, do you play an instrument, Jhon? Do you play...
Si tocas un instrumento.
No, ninguno.
You don't play...
No.
Escuchar.
Oh,
Jhon don't play any instrument. He needs to learn something. But I know what, because he's my friend. He's music.
Oh, okay, but you know what? Just get a congas. Do something everyday musical, and your brain will just come together. But let's continue this because this is a great interview.
Thank you. It's an honor to know that. And if you want to say goodbye singing something, go ahead.
Margarita, yo te sueño cada día. Dime cómo yo sabría si esperando estás por mí. Hey, you're a maniac, maniac on the floor. And here's the original lyrics. He's a maniac, maniac, that's for sure. He'll kill your cat and nail it to the door. Don't use that one. That's just me.
Thank you so much. God bless you, Michael. Take care.
Oh, man.
You're the best. You're the best.
Okay.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye. And bye, camera.
Anytime you want to do it, let's do it. And I'll get Frank Stallone, and we'll go get Sylvester Stallone, and we'll get all together next time.
Jhon, te va a traer a Fran y a Sylvester.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's do
it, man. Let's do it. Thank you so much.
Let's do it.
Bye-bye.
All right.
Bye-bye,
Thank
Michael.
you guys.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.